welcome to Trac Mon in Anglesey. Hello, I'm Drip Designs, a visually impaired gamer, streamer and livery designer, and you join me at Trac Mon Circuit in Anglesey for the final Speed of Sight track day of the year. It was a one-day event at the circuit full of laughs, smiles, memories made, my final drive of the year, and some exploration around the island as well. So just quickly before we get into the video proper, a little bit of backstory. I was born with albinism and nystagmus, causing a visual impairment and meaning that I can't get a driver's license. Now, motorsport has been my passion since I was a itty bitty boy, and Speed of Sight give driving experiences to blind, visually impaired and people with all forms of disabilities. So with Speed of Sight, for a few times a year I am able to drive a car and my dreams come true. So it all started a day beforehand, heading over into Anglesey with a beautiful scenic drive. Heading down through this valley is just my favourite part. It was a bit gloomy and a little bit of a drizzle in the air as we drove through this time, but it's still absolutely gorgeous. Our first stop when we got into Anglesey was Rossnager, a beautiful beach, and despite it still being a little bit rainy and drizzly, still super relaxing to walk along the beach and listen to the sea crash against the rocks. Anglesey is a very special place to me. Got memories of holidaying here as a family when I was a lot younger, and memories of most recently when I started coming back with Speed of Sight. The memories I've built driving around the circuit and having the thrill of being behind the wheel, as well as volunteering with the charity and helping other people experience the thrill and excitement that I've been lucky enough to feel myself so many times. We had the 3 MEVs out on track for the participants, and Usher made a surprise appearance as well, charity's first ever purpose-built track car. So for my drive, I was behind the wheel of Dave, the newest MEV that was added to the fleet. Look, that's me! And while I don't have any onboard footage of my own driving, I do have this onboard footage from a passenger ride that I had with Faz, and he's kindly given me his footage from that. So let's go for an onboard lap of Anglesey Circuit. So in toward the first corner, a fast 90-degree left-hander. You want to keep the car over to the left-hand side now to open up the banking of turn 2. Hard on the brakes and get the car rotated. This is a hairpin. You've got a very fast section coming up after this as you're getting the power on now toward Church, which is turn 3. A long sweeping right-hander that brings you back parallel to the start-finish line and toward the fastest section of the track as the circuit keeps continuing on round, curving off to the right and now starting to climb uphill toward Rocket. The camera doesn't do this justice of just how steep this climb really is. Getting hard onto the brakes now into the blind apex of Rocket, where turning in you can't see where the corner is and you're just hoping the corner's there, keeping the car again over to the left hand side of the circuit, trying to open up the right hander. Now we are at the highest point of the circuit, so it's all going to start falling away from us now as we come back down the other side of the hill. We get a gorgeous view of the circuit and the surrounding areas with the sea over on the right, but not too much time to take it all in as we are then into the final little complex left-hander of Corkscrew as we drop even further down now, dipping into the right, trying to keep the car over to the right to open up the final corner to complete a lap of Anglesey Circuit. So thank you once again, Faz, not only for the footage but for the experience of being your passenger. It was really eye-opening to feel what these cars can do out on track. Incredible feeling the tyre moving and the weight transfer of the car, and comparing that to what I experience in my own driving experiences with Speed of Sight and with my experiences on my racing simulator. Now, during the lunch break, we got to walk the circuit, which was super cool, and this was all to do with me walking 5 million steps during the course of the year to raise money for Speed of Sight. A couple of the volunteers, trustees and my mum joined for this walk, and it was a really special moment and a really big part of my 5 million step journey that I've gone on this year. At the time of recording, I've done 3.8 million steps on my journey toward the 5 million, and I'm going to leave a link in the description toward the donation page. There's no obligation, but if you are able to, please do consider donating and supporting this incredible charity and giving other people the thrill and excitement and freedom of getting behind the wheel. Walking the circuit really gave us time to appreciate those gorgeous views that you get on this circuit that you can't quite appreciate while you're driving around. It also gives you much more of an understanding of the undulations of the circuit, and it was just such a special moment to be able to share this with everybody. Now, after the track day was completed, we did have a little bit of an explore around Anglesey, looking at some of the local spots of interest. Starting off right next to the circuit, if you walk down along the side, you find this little church that's on its own little island. A place where if the tide comes in, you can get stuck on that little island. The following day before heading home, we headed over to Anglesey, another one of the beaches that we used to holiday on many, many years ago. Our final stop took us to the longest place name in the UK. Llanfairpwll Gwyndifm... Llanfairpwll Gwyn Gwisgo Gera Cwndrobwll Llansilio Gogogoch. So I've completed my 17th driving experience with Speed of Sight. It also wraps up the 2025 season of the Speed of Sight driving experiences, which it's been a bonkers year. I've had 4 drives this season. I've had Llandau earlier in the year. There was Croft, Mallory Park, and then today at Trac Mon. Each of them I've learned a little something about driving, about my own ability behind the wheel. I've loved every drive this year. Every time I get behind the wheel, every chance I get to spend with the incredible people at the charity, the people that make my dream come true and make other people's dreams come true as well. And while the driving experience was fantastic, it's also a little bit sad because that was the last time I get to be behind the wheel for the year. I can jump on my simulator, which is brilliant, and I adore that. But nothing beats being out on track. And I don't know when my next drive's going to be. So it's a bit bittersweet. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. Share the video out to as many people as possible. And if you want to watch another video, try this one out. But have a wonderful day and keep plodding on.